Hi, I'm Frank Peters of The Frank Peters Show, and you're watching Eye on Business.
Welcome to Eye on Business, Secrets of Success and Interesting People. Today we're happy to welcome Frank Peters, the chairman of Tech Coast Angels and a master podcaster. So Frank, tell me, what did you do before you retired?
Before I retired, I had a software company. I wrote software for Wall Street. My brother and I started the company here, and the company was in Irvine. All the customers were in New York. It took us about 9 years to figure that out. And so then we packed up, each of us, and took ourselves to New York. And anyway, we did all the selling, my brother and I, and we ran the company for 15 years, sold it. Ironically, never raised any venture capital. I bootstrapped the company entirely. So anyway, it's kind of ironic, I suppose, that today I'm, helping entrepreneurs figure out how they are going to raise money for their business. But I often say I just wasn't that astute, or more to my credit, I suppose, is I taught my customers how they needed to pay for the software up front. I needed money. Since I didn't have venture capital, they had to pay me up front for the software, and it was novel. I had a monopoly in my market, and so they did. They paid in advance for my software, so I didn't need a lot of venture capital. We sold the software mostly one copy at a time. That's what we were doing. I say we sold it out of the trunk of our car. We drive to the San Fernando Valley one day and San Diego the next, and then, all these different places just to, just to peddle a couple of copies of the software. So then eventually what happened was all my little customers here started telling people in the home office in New York what I was doing, and then the phone started to ring, and I started going to New York.
Where did you go to school? How did you learn to program?
I went to UCLA graduate school, computer science, but the real big break was when the personal computer came out. That created a level playing field, right? Equal opportunity for anybody who could write some code. There were a few competitors, and scaling like that. So anyway, it was a great time. I often say if it was 1983 and you could write code and you treated your customers nice, then very, very likely you could be success in your niche too.
Do you like Southern California better or Wall Street?
That was a good question. If you asked my wife or my kids, you might get different answers. But I like New York better, definitely. Yeah, I like New York. But yeah, the excitement. I was really good with that, 2-minute thing. New York Minute. I was really good with that. That was like in my DNA. I could deal with all of that. Go, 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 go. So what was nice, though, was that in those early years when we started the company and we didn't know what we were doing, and we would, like any company, occasionally make mistakes, all of those mistakes we made out here on the West Coast. So that when we finally went to New York, I would say we hadn't pissed anybody off. So we looked like we had just, landed in town, and we knew all about the business, and we had a great product, and everybody liked us too. So anyway, that's how things started.
And how did you choose to start podcasting?
Well, like a lot of things, I suppose it chose me. I was working for a nonprofit at the time, and the focus was promoting Orange County. And we, like a lot of nonprofits, didn't have a lot of money. So how are we going to get our message out there and tell the world about Orange County? Well, podcasting had just come on the scene.
And how long have you been a podcaster?
Just about 3 years ago. Yeah. So I'm kind of a technical guy, right? Can write software. I knew that I could figure out podcasting. So I raised my hand and said, could do it inexpensively. And think about it. The other people on my board, I had people like the incoming chairman of the Orange County Business Council. I had lots of people, prominent people in the community who, of course, they would sit down with me and talk about Orange County and what we were planning to do. All I had to do was bring the microphone. And so I got started very easily, you might say in that way, and attracted an audience. And at the same time, though, I was looking over my shoulder. I was involved in Tech Coast Angels. And as I kept looking at what was going on at Tech Coast Angels, I said, wow, there's more drama with these stories of these entrepreneurs that come along, are trying to raise $1 million, all of their dreams and expectations, all of the frustrations that they have. Those were the compelling stories that I wanted to tell. And anyway, it's been fun. So I've got 2 sponsors and a growing audience. Maybe not last week, but the prior 2 weeks in a row, I broke new audience levels for my show. So it's still kind of small. It's still a niche market, but it's a terrific market. Any entrepreneur, all the angels in the country, perhaps North America, I know I can see my audience. I've got people listening around the world, are curious, who'd like to know. And the experience Tech Coast Angels has for 11 years funding all those companies, we've done a lot. We've had so many great experiences. There's a lot to share. Different everything in the U.S. comes in .com. I'll get something from Canada, or anyway, I've got people from Saudi Arabia listening to this show. Belgium is big. I didn't know that for the longest time. It just dawned on me. The European Business Angel Network is headquartered in Belgium, and I suppose that's who's listening, huh? My friends in Belgium. Anyway, so I can see those international URLs coming in, and that's kind of fun to think about. Well, I think that's why my audience numbers have gone up, because people come to the podcast and they want to hear what I'm saying, and it's been very timely subject, right? The market, I did a show on the market meltdown, and then I think I just, was it last night I posted a cute title, Months to Fumes. When you run out of gas, you're running on fumes, right? So how many months to fumes do your startups have? Because, well, to answer your question, I think any venture-backed, angel-backed company is recalibrating their runway, is the jargon we use. They're figuring out how much cash do they have and how long can they stretch it out. How many months? Can they stretch it out for a month, 18 months? That's the goal right now is, there are a lot of companies that get funded that, it's all rah, 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 achieve high market share, don't worry about money, we'll just get more when we... Well, that model is very much out of favor right now, and you have to be much more conscious of what's your break-even point. When are you going to be cash flow break-even? How fast can you get there? And then based on that, how much money will you retain in the bank so that you don't have to go out for more money right now, because it's not going to be a good time, we're afraid, for some little while to go out and raise additional monies. So that's the message.